Hello and welcome. It's Bio here. So, yeah, figured we'd do part four of Cheaternite. So, yeah, anyways, I did change it back to the 60 FPS mode because, well, I don't know. I like it better. I don't like care for the 120, and you sacrifice certain things that sort of ruin the whole, you know, thing for it. So, I mean, it does kind of suck. And like it's got this weird issue where when you have it in 120 FPS mode, um, I'm trying to think of what the heck it's called, but you can only see like I don't know if it's anisotropic filtering or what it's called. I don't think that's what it is. It's not anisotropic filtering, I don't think. I can't think of what the heck it's called, but it's like you'll see like if you do 120 FPS, you'll notice that when you look so far ahead of you on the ground, you'll notice there's like this line and it's sort of like a curvature in a way, but when you push it out further, you'll notice that things that are closer will be clearer, but then past that certain point is sort of not that clear, which is sort of deceiving when you think about when you go actually look at the setting. I don't have it on here right now, but when you actually go look at the setting, it actually tells you about how, well, depending on your TV's capabilities, the only thing that seems to be affected according to the game itself, is just the resolution. Well, that's a blatant lie, obviously, because you shouldn't have something like that if the only thing that it's doing is just dropping the resolution a little bit. So I think they are, I do wholeheartedly believe that they are lying to people in that description. So yeah, that description is kind of full of crap. It doesn't just lower your um, resolution. And I also know this for a fact because it actually dumbs down the graphics to high instead of ultra. Well, if you are on this game, it's called epic if you're on PC, but yeah, it drops it down to basically high settings instead of well, what people know as ultra settings would be epic settings on Fortnite on PC. So, yeah. But, you could tell because funny enough, I don't think they actually knew anybody. I don't think they figured anybody would figure it out. But when you drop the settings from like epic to high, or say ultra to high, if you look at your gun, here, let's grab that shotgun. Most of the time you'll notice like there's like it's almost like it's shiny off the side, but then when it's still in ultra, it'd still be essentially shiny like on the inside of the, even if it's a dark building. But if you turn it down to high settings, it won't be as strong when it comes to like shining off of like the gun, and then when you go into the building, it's actually more realistic because then it won't actually really show it. Which I think is kind of funny because it's like I don't think they realized that anybody would ever catch on to that. And then on top of all of that, though, um, that like line or arch or whatever you want to call it, I can't think of what the heck that graphic setting is, but it's obviously dumbed down because it just, you know, you could tell because it's not on there in the 60 FPS mode. I've yet to see it in the 60 FPS mode, and I've only seen it in the 120 FPS mode. So they do mess with the graphics a little bit, but and then they also, actually, if I can find a building, I'll show you something else too that they actually screw with because I believe they actually screw with the tessellation if you go to 120 FPS. Let me, I think that's probably the only building in here that's got that. Hopefully it's the right crap though. And it is not. Oh, dang it. I'm gonna have to find a building that has that in it. Well, on top of it at least. But yes, I believe that they actually mess with the tessellation also. It's not just, you know, a resolution decrease like it states. Wow, okay, sure, that makes sense. Why isn't mine green, but hers was doing more damage, huh? So there's two things behind that. With hers doing more damage, that means they would have had to been all headshots. Because I'm pretty sure mine were green. Yeah, because now she's got the green ones. But it wouldn't make a difference anyways, because even if they were, both of them were white or gray or whatever you want to call it, even if both shotguns were gray, mine and hers, how could hers do more damage? Think about that for a second. I know she had shield, and I didn't, but pretty sure she got all headshots. Because I didn't miss mine. No, they may not be cheating. I don't care. The point is if they are, I mean, Epic's aware of it. Even though they don't care about cheating, so it's hard to really tell unless they are blatantly cheating. It is kind of hard to tell whether they are or not sometimes. But that's only due to the fact where it's like, think about it, like Epic doesn't do anything about cheating. They don't care about cheating. They just, it's whatever to them. You know? I mean, you can clearly see it because, well, check out my video. The dude's clearly cheating. Still not banned or anything. Still haven't heard anything at all from even Epic Games, like on the game itself. You know, nothing. Not even stating, you know, that little picture with like the guy in it that says, suspect apprehended. Nothing. Not as if zero. So, but there's just nothing. Like, you can tell the difference between when they actually do something about cheating and when they don't. Because when they don't, nothing seems to happen. At all. Now, I do know, if I go here, there is a building over here that's got the roof I'm looking for. But yeah, no, if you have the 120 FPS thing on and you can read it, it literally states that the only thing it pretty much does is just drops the resolution. And that's pretty much it. Like, okay, well that's a lie. It's just an obvious lie. And you know, I got an SSD, an M.2 SSD in my PS5. And I get 6.5 gigabyte speed. And this game still has all kinds of issues with loading. I mean, like, you've seen how the road took a minute to load in. Okay, so if you look at this roof right here, you'll notice that there's tessellation and the graphics is actually pretty decent on it. It looks like actual, like, rocks or whatever. You can look at like below my feet and all that stuff. You can see the tessellation and everything. Well, when you turn 120 FPS on, it just sort of looks flat, and it looks like, you know, like an old gen system. You know, like something like maybe a PS3, not a PS5, not even a PS4. So yeah, there's kind of that. So it does mess with that too. But I just love how Epic does nothing but lie, break break all these antitrust laws, and not very many people seem to really care as long as they're not doing anything about cheating. And I say that because you almost get the feeling like 90% of this game is a bunch of cheaters. I mean, let's put it this way. I created an entirely new account from scratch, okay? And still got in a freaking match with cheaters. I'm like, dude, it's a brand new account. Entirely new. Everything about it is entirely new. The first match I got into that I even played, there was already a cheater in there sitting there just completely wrecking everybody. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, okay, so Epic just doesn't find this kind of fishy at all. Right? It's just normal. Like, Epic didn't seem to have a problem with it at all. They never banned that guy either. It's just plumb ridiculous, you know? It's like, Epic just doesn't do anything about cheating at all. They don't care. Even when it comes to teaming, they don't care. Like, I can't tell you how many times me, Kurt, and everybody else has played, and there's been people, we'd be playing duos, and there'd be a squad showing up. It's like, okay, well, if we're playing duos, how are we fighting 4 people at the same time, and they're not shooting at each other, and they're all trying to kill us? Like, what else would you call that? Would you call it third party? No, that's called teaming. That's literally what that's called, is teaming. You know, it kind of defeats the purpose of putting, say, teaming up with enemies in a report. Or cheating and hacking. So it's so pointless to freaking put any of that stuff in the report if you're not going to do anything about it. Like, why allow people to report at all if you ain't going to do anything about cheating? That's why I don't play a lot of games that don't have a report system, because if they ain't got a report system, I just tend to not play it. Because, well, if I can't report a freaking cheater, how do they get reported? I don't care what kind of technology somebody has. There's going to be cheaters in the game. I can literally be live streaming right now, like I am, and I could literally say, I'm cheating. And you know what Epic would do? Oh well. Nobody cares. And now, you know, some of you guys might be like, well, that's not true, because there's been people that do that, and they've gotten banned. Okay. Again, watch the video I did of that cheater. You're going to tell me that, why ain't they done anything about him yet? That's literally on video. It's blatantly obvious that dude's cheating. Why ain't they done anything about him yet? I mean, there's no denying, not one person on this entire planet can literally say that person is not cheating. Not one. Hi, baby girl. Oh no. I love you too. I know I love you too. I love you too. Oh, you're such a princess. You're so pretty. I love you. But, you know, I knew it was a bad sign when Epic was like, we're gonna like unban like just about everybody because we're gonna do this whole second chance thing. Oh, that was such a bad idea. They already get a second chance. Like, what are you talking about? They got the second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth chance. I mean, they got more than 2 chances. It makes 0 sense to sit there and do something like that and say, well, we're just trying to give people a second chance. Like, what do you mean? You know, each time they got banned, it was only for a certain amount of days until they got permanently banned. Now all of a sudden, oh, we're going to do a second chance thing? That don't even make sense. Like just the other day, me and Kurt caught somebody cheating on this thing. You know, you might be like, how? Okay. Well, let me see. They did this right here. They grabbed it, okay? But here's the catch. They instantly, and I mean instantly, had it opened already. And I'm like, that don't even make sense whatsoever. How can they open it up like that quick? I mean, it was an instant type of thing. There was no, you know, sitting there for 10 minutes like I have to do. It was just straight up, grabbed it and ran. And if you break it, there's nothing. You don't get anything if it breaks. That's pretty cool. So yeah, as you can see, I have to sit here for 10 minutes. Problem is that person me and Kurt caught the other day, he didn't sit here at all like this. They literally jumped up there, grabbed it, and ran. That was it. It was so instant it ain't even funny. It's like there's no way. We tried every freaking, look at that. Yeah, baby. Give me that gold piece of crap. So, yeah. That's kind of one of the problems, right? It's like, there's just too many cheaters. And I've already proved it many times before. You don't have to believe anything I say. You don't have to believe any videos I show. But it doesn't change the facts. And I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not changing the facts. You don't have to believe it, but it's not going to change the facts. You can come on to, you know, you can comment on any of my videos, on any of my live streams. Oh, they ain't cheating. Well, it's not going to change any of the facts. You know that, right? You could say they're not cheating. But is it going to change the fact that they're cheating? No. Is it going to change the fact that they got caught on video? No. Is it going to change the fact that they are actually cheating, legitimately cheating? No, it's not going to change it. Now, is everybody, you know, every single person that I catch cheating? No, not exactly. I'll explain to you. So, like that person a little bit ago. I did that on purpose for a reason. To kind of show you, like, well, there are times where it's like, seems a little fishy. Then when you try to add everything up, it seems like, well, this adds up, but that don't add up, but this adds up, and, you know, you just get that feeling like, there's just something weird about it, like they're trying to hide something, or it just, something doesn't add up, or anything, really. You just report it just to, you know, because at least then it's like, well, even if they are cheating, well, guess what? They're aware of it. And if they're not cheating, then they'll figure it out and they'll know that, okay, well, this person's not cheating. There's nothing wrong with reporting it. Now, for obvious reasons, if you can clearly see that somebody's cheating and you report them, it's kind of obvious that they're probably cheating. I mean, me and Kirk got on friggin' yesterday, and I literally raged off of the game because there's just too many friggin' cheaters. Like, no matter which way I turn, no matter how many matches we went into, no how many times we got eliminated, nobody missed any shots. I don't understand how Epic Games can think about, oh, well, that's checked up. Yeah, and it's a piece of crap. And it's easily, manipulated. Because guess what? If I sit here and I shoot, say, at that guy's wall, I'm shooting it away from him, I'm doing it on purpose. I'm not shooting them on purpose. Which means that the anti-cheat system is going to pick it up as I'm missing shots. Even though I'm purposefully missing them. That's how the anti-cheat system works. It goes on, essentially how many freaking shots you're hitting. They have, some of them, a lot of these anti-cheat systems, yeah, they'll pick up certain things, but they don't pick up everything. And that's also where it gets sort of ruined. Because it's not picking up everything. So when people like me sit there and notice, hey, look, this person's clearly using God mode. Just like that video I show you guys. You can go on my YouTube channel, look at my video that I did just days and days ago. And guess what? That guy's clearly using God mode. And guess what? The anti-cheat system didn't pick it up, did it? Nope. So what does that frickin' tell you? Even the frickin' anti-cheat system didn't pick it up. For crying out loud. Okay, give me a second. Alright, so I'm here and I'm actually getting ready to leave. I got something came up and I ended up going to do something. But now that last guy, I reported him because I think it's kind of funny how, you know, how he was doing his thing. Like, I'm sitting here trying to multitask right now, so I'm trying to remember what the frick it was. Dang it. I know I'll remember when I'm not even thinking about it. I don't know, I'd have to probably go look at it. What was it? Oh yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so when that last guy got me and he used a sword to get me with at the end, first of all, when you're shooting somebody on here, you're not paying attention to the numbers that are popping up. You're just not. Because if you're paying attention to that, you're going to be missing shots, which he obviously didn't do. Um, And then my other thing is the fact that it's like, well, clearly when you're that close to each other, you're not going to be paying attention to the numbers. So how did he know exactly how much he hit me for and was going to hit me for? You know what I mean? Like, how do you know exactly how much you were going to hit me for before shooting me? Unless in fact you are using something like aimbot. Okay, now hear me out. So if you're using aimbot, right, and you're gonna shoot and you have it set up toward like just shoot them like in the chest, you know how much the exact amount of damage it's gonna do, right? You do. However, if you're like me and you're playing fair, you may only hit like like with the shotgun, you may only hit like maybe 5 or 6 of the red dots out of the whole thing, right? So if that happens, guess what? You're not doing that exact amount of damage that you thought you were going to do. You might only do 20 or 30 damage instead of like 60, 70. You see what I'm saying here? So how did he know exactly how much he was going to hit me before hitting me all those times to be able to use the pickaxe or sword or whatever to hit me and eliminate me with? Pretty sure it was just pickaxe, but you see where I'm getting at here? It's sort of like, okay, if you shoot me once with a shotgun and shoot me once with an AR, that doesn't mean I'm a one hit. I could have 200. That doesn't it doesn't mean I'm a one hit. You see what I'm saying here? So for obvious reasons, it's sort of like, how did he know? Especially when we're that close in a tree and all that other crap and everything like that. How would you know exactly what you were going to hit me for before you hit me for? You see what I'm saying? Like if I know exactly how much I'm going to hit you for before I shoot you, and I hit you exactly for that because I already know I'm just a mind reader or I'm using aimbot, and then I pull out my pickaxe and I pickaxe you. You see what I'm saying here? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up where how somebody could just do that so quickly and just magically know exactly what they hit you for without using aimbot. Because if you're using aimbot, you have it set up for like a headshot as an example, you know exactly what it's going to hit for. You have it set up for a chest shot, you know exactly what it's going to hit for. Because it's going to hit exactly the same every time. That's the whole point of aimbot. So he clearly knew exactly what he was going to hit me for before hitting me, and that's why he pulled out his pickaxe and actually pickaxed me. Because there's no way you're paying attention to the numbers that are popping up, first of all, especially in that kind of situation. I mean, think about it. We're close. There's a tree. There's everything going on. There's no way. But anyways, yeah, I'll be back up and streaming here after a bit because something came up and I actually have to get going and do a couple things. But anyways, if you did enjoy this one, and I'm sorry it's short, but I will be back here in a little bit. If I am sorry that it is shorter than usual, but anyways, if you did enjoy this one, please give it a big fat thumbs up. Maybe subscribe if you do. Please turn your post notifications on. Make sure to set them to all. Thanks for watching. Have a great and blessed day, and I'll catch you later.